What's up? Doughboy here. First off, I want to say I am not a YouTuber, I'm not a content creator. You will see some videos on my channel from way back, more or less just archiving, kind of for myself. Some of the stories I had through D1, and just I played through. There's a playthrough of all the strikes, all the story missions, and some of the off tangents. I think the Black Spindle quest. More or less just archiving it for me, my own purposes. I like to go back at some point and watch my commentary on that. That'd probably be fun, but that'd be like a 10-year thing down the road. Anyways, so, I don't make videos for a living on YouTube. I'm a person that loves Destiny. I have over 2,300 hours on Destiny. Yes, it's a waste of time, I know. Anyways, but in total between Destiny 1 and 2. So that's a lot of hours. I'm not saying I'm the all-knowing Destiny player. I'm just a guy that loves this community, loves this game, and I know it has potential, and I want to see that potential turn into something good, which I thought Destiny 2 would be, but I don't want to say it completely failed, but it fell pretty hard in its face. Anyways, like I said, lots of potential energy with Destiny, and you know what happens with potential? It turns into kinetic energy, which is, I think, how they named the new weapon types. Anyways, jokes aside, let's get into this. So this video is about just kind of state of the sandbox right now and what simple fixes I think can happen. I'll just illustrate. For me, it's all about range and just encounter ranges. Obviously, close, medium, long. There's medium, short. There's a bunch of different encounter ranges, and I think that's the issue with the Crucible right now. Is there's only a few guns. I mean, with a Mida and a Uriel's Gift, you can kind of lock down that most engagements you can just lock down and have the upper hand unless someone else is using that same weapon or one in a similar archetype, which is annoying. It just makes it kind of really bland. So I'll explain that in this video and my thoughts on how to fix that. And then gameplay in the background is mine from... I can't wait till Mayhem comes back. Oh, I think I'm about to get a 5-man right here. That's kind of perfectly timed. So, as I'm getting a 5-man... Was that 5-man? Was 1, 2, 3, 4, and I think I almost get a 6. So here's a 5th. Anyways, enough talking about. That was only Mayhem. That's the only reason I did that. I am not an all-star at the Crucible. I think I'm above average, but I am not the best by any means. Anyone else can do that in Mayhem. Especially when I'm just throwing tethers all over like a jackass. Anyways, that's the end of that video clip. Let's get into boring Excel file. Anyways, I'm a math guy. I love visuals. So this is what we have right now, in my opinion. First off, 1 through 20 at the top is the range encounters. That does not mean meters. It does not mean anything besides just a generic kind of, 1 through 20. I want to do something, even number, so that I can split up. So that I can just wrap my head around what ranges things are good at. It does not mean anything. Just 1 being up in your face, 20 being about the farthest scout rifle shot you could hit consistently. So, right at that edge of scout rifle range. Because, snipers after that, well, who's using a sniper? I don't know. Maybe KJ Hovey. Anyways. Does he even still play this game? Do I even still play this? Does anyone still play this game? Anyways. First off, let's agree about the order of the weapons here on the left. I believe we can all agree SMG is the closest range out of everything. Obviously, you can aim and try to shoot anything at any range with any gun, obviously. But if you shoot someone across the map with the SMG, you're probably not going to hit them. Same thing with hand cannon. If you try to use the scout rifle up close, it's going to be really awkward because of the zoom on it. You can still do it, but it's just not where it's intended to be used. So, in this kind of order, SMG, hand cannon, auto rifle, pulse rifle, scout rifle, I think we can all agree that's kind of the order. Yes, there's some overlap, as you can see, but that's kind of the order. I feel like this should be green. I feel like that got undone. Yeah, anyways. Making adjustments on the fly here. So, you saw me just shade that green. I'll explain what these mean. So, red is where a weapon or weapon type dominates. So, you'll see basically all the ones I have dominating here right now are named weapons like Anti-Op D, which is really any other SMG at that closer range. Anti-Op D just tends to reach out farther because range is important. Obviously range is important. Uriel's Gift, same kind of thing. And you can probably put Miter down here, or Tome Patrol. I've been using that a lot. That's a fun, non-exotic, legendary. Let's try and combine legendary with energy. I need some coffee or something, even though I don't drink coffee. So anyways, then yellow is where it overlaps. So like Anti-Op D is a good countermeasure to Uriel's if you push. If you stay back, you're not gonna, you know, if you stay back at all rifle ranges, you're not gonna hit with an SMG. You gotta be in their face, which is the playstyle a lot of people are using, and that's a fun playstyle, especially the Night Stalking, going invisible, up in their face. But there's kind of a meeting point where, depending on who lands their shots and who pulls the trigger first, and a bunch of different factors, you can you can lose or win a gunfight, and then it's all Uriel's Gift until same thing happens with scout rifles. That's what I feel. Obviously, with hand cannons, you can still win fights, obviously, especially with team shots. I'm more talking about 1v1s here, which is kind of rare, unless you're playing Crimson doubles, but even then, grenade spam and all that. So, I know. The issue with the Crucible isn't just the sandbox, it's the fact that the team shot is really prevalent. Anyways, so there's these lighter green. You probably can't even tell. I just kind of want to put them in there just because this is kind of where I think hand cannons and pulse rifles should be kind of taking at least a tie. And so they're kind of tying there, but not really. They're so hand cannons, Better Devils is pretty good. I've used it a little bit, but overall I haven't used them. Pulse rifles, I think, is a Time Worn Spire, was it? The fast rate of fire. If you get the drop on a Uriel's Gift using guy, you could actually beat him, but odds are if you don't land your shots, you will lose. So if you do land some crits, you can win gunfights reliably, but you can't say reliably. Sorry, I need coffee even though I don't drink it. You just can't do it on a regular basis. And I'll get into that a little bit later, how far I think you could fix it. Same thing with Scout Rifle here with the light green. At closer ranges, it just takes more skill to land, especially when Uriel's just the recoil, the flinch that causes you. It's hard to land crits this close, and you need to land crits with a Scout Rifle to do anything. So I'll explain some changes. I'll kind of go back and forth. So this is what we need. Where it's more of a step down to each weapon type, and each weapon type has its place where it dominates. That just sounds fun. I want that. I want a place where a hand cannon will be out a Uriel's Gift or another auto rifle or anything. So let's go down the list here. SMGs, I don't want Bungie to fucking touch them. I think they are really good where they are. Maybe bump some of them up to where Anti-Op D is. Anti-Op D might be a little bit too strong, a little bit. But I love Anti-Op D. Don't touch my Anti-Op D. It might be a little bit too strong, but they might have to actually nerf that a little bit just to have hand cannons have a little bit of an edge in that zone. But please don't touch my Anti-Op D. I think, but as a whole, submachine guns I think are pretty good. Some of them are a little bit weaker. On PC, I know they're pretty strong because of the whole recoil thing, and with a mouse and keyboard, you can do a lot more damage a lot more quickly. But I think they're in a pretty good spot. So hand cannons, they need a small buff. And the problem with hand cannons is a one-shot difference is a lot. You know, going from 4 to 3 or 3 to 2, well, yeah, 3 to 2 shot, a la freaking Thorn from year 1. I think I'm still have damage over time on me from that. Anyways. So they just need a small buff, but that's just tough because you buff them too much, and then now they become this whole area as red to them, and I kind of don't want to see that meta. I don't really want to see. I want to change, but I don't want to see that meta again. So that's a small tweak. And again, I don't know what I don't work for Bungie, but so I don't know how exactly they'll address that, but they need a small tweak. Maybe neutering the Uriel's Gift and neutering Anti-Op will bring it a little more paralysis. I know the slower firing hand cannons, I think, need a little love, and the faster firing too. I think the better Devil's archetype is pretty good, but I think the slower firing ones need to actually do some damage, and maybe actually 3-tap in the right circumstance. Maybe. Again, they did neuter from Destiny 1, they did neuter the aim assist, so it would be a little bit more skill, and you won't just spam the trigger to get the 3-tap headshot. So I wouldn't mind seeing that come back, but I'm a little hesitant because I just know those were an issue in D1. So as ARs as a whole are kind of fine, except the Uriel's Gift archetype. That needs to be something needs to be done about that, mainly with range, just so it doesn't screw with the pulse rifles. Maybe, in this area be effective, but just don't overall just kill pulse rifles. So, and I think it's just Uriel's Gift archetype. I know there's a few on the lower end. What's Uriel's Gift is 450, I believe, rounds per minute, and there's some 600s, about the same. They might need a little bit of range nerf too, but they might be fine actually. Just nerf the Uriel's Gift if you bring up pulse rifles. So getting on the pulse rifles, they need a lot of love. The slow rate of fire need a lot of love. Those need to rely more on headshots. Risk reward, kind of like the 3-shot scout rifles from Year 1, or from Destiny 1. Those were fun, but those need to be brought up a little bit. Those are just, there's no reason to use them. But the fast rate of fire pulse rifles are in a pretty good spot, and just they need a small tweak to increase body shot damage and maybe reduce headshot damage. They just need less reliance on headshot damage. Right now, they're balancing it around you landing crits, and unless they increase the stability, you can't really land that many crits. It's unreasonable to land, especially with Uriel's Gift right now, banging you and flinching, making you flinch all over the place. You can't really land any crits, or you can't, 3 crits. That's not going to happen. You might get lucky and get 3 at a closer range, but most of the time you're gonna maybe get 1. You're gonna get 1, but maybe get 2. But odds are gonna be 1. So if they can just lower the reliance on headshots a little bit, that will help them out. And with Uriel's kind of being pulled back, I think that will bring them up. Hopefully. Then scout rifles are in a pretty good place, except, like I mentioned, the 3-tap. So the slow rate of fire scout rifles. If they can bring back the 3-tap, like in Destiny 1, those are my favorite guns to use. Lots of risk reward because they went from a 3-tap to a 4-tap to a 5-tap pretty quickly if you weren't landing headshots. But that said, it was so satisfying, just dink, 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 and the enemy was dead. So if they bring those back, that was my favorite combo to use with Plan C. Anyways, I'm reminiscing. I need to go back and watch some of my old gameplay because I'm getting wet thinking about it. Anyways, most important thing with all these changes, don't mess up PvE. I love where our rifles are. In Destiny 1, they were a joke in PvE. Until maybe Genesis Chain, and that was only because of its perks, really. Until, later on they kind of came back around. But obviously, at first, I know, like, off the bat, they were the go-to, but then they got nerfed into the ground. I don't want that to happen again. I want them to stay where they are in PvE. If the range is affected, if the range is affected, I think they'll be fine. They'll still do their shit up close. The range will just fine. Use a scout rifle. Use something else. And then with the changes to pulse rifles, maybe they'll do a little bit more damage overall, and you might be able to one-tap some lower level like dregs and stuff. Same thing with if the scout rifles come back. If they can one-shot, headshot most enemies, which I know a few can right now, but they're not as reliable. They're not the best. So if they can be brought up, that would kind of replace, I guess, using Uriel's. Or I do love my. Why can I not remember the name of it? I'm gonna pull up Dim. Sorry, I'm blanking. I need coffee, and I don't drink coffee. Come on, Dim, load. Sad that I forgot this name. Alright, oh, there it is. See? Origin story. Oh, Masterwork. Anyways. Might have used a lot. Red Devils need to be brought up. Anyways, there's my anti-hope. Anyways. Please don't hurt my origin story, but please fix PvP. I know that's a tough... telling you to do one thing and then telling you not to do it another way. Actually, you know the solution is just separate PvE and PvP. That needs to be done, Bungie. Come on. So idea is just stricter boundaries on engagement ranges. You know, just a step down. Everything has its point where it will beat out others. Scout rifles, that's kind of a weird one. Again, I put all the light green in here. It's because if you can land your shots, you still will be able to get kills just like you will be able to get here. But it takes skill, and I'm fine with that. If anything it takes skill, I'm fine with. Mighty is just... problem with Mighty, it's just so consistent. It's just so consistent, but it does get out, you know, it gets beat by Uriel's gift. So if pulse rifles can just replace Uriel's to beat them at that distance, it'll be fine. So yeah, it's just tough because right now with Might and Uriel's, just keep your distance and you got the upper hand. It's just really bland, and I just hope they can fix that. But just as a PSA, this won't stop the 1v2s that you get into. You know, it won't stop the team shots. It won't stop you losing to other Guardians. I do have some ideas of what can maybe stop that. That'll be another video because I know this has already gone on 16 minutes. So if you are actually watching this, thank you. Watch the other video. It's going to be about exotics and making them more exotic. Just basically some ideas. I'll give you a little bit of insight what I'm thinking. Anti-Hope D. You get a kill, you reload, you activate kill clip, and then you can absolutely just tear someone up. That's in the situation where if Anti-Hope D had enough ammo, you could win that 1v2. And I think you might be able to. If you land all the shots and really save that ammo, you can win the 1v2 with kill clip active. Or you can kill the one guy, reload, and then kill a second guy. So if exotics could have that functionality, I won't get into it here because I can be talking about this for another 10 minutes. But please watch the other video. If you agreed with any things I said, please share the video. I just want Bungie to see, you know, I want to get this talk going. And hopefully Bungie is already doing this. If they're not, they can do it in a future update. But just of what... It's got potential. It's not far off. It's just a few minor changes. And it's right there. But the thing I'm more excited about is the exotics. And just making the, you know, bring back the space magic. I mean, like, space magic for president. Come on, screw Trump. Anyways. Thanks for watching. Again, share it on social media. Get it around to Bungie. And then stay tuned. I'll link in the description for the exotic video. I'm excited for that. On that one, please post comments. Just get tons of crazy ideas. Tweet them at Christopher Barrett. It just, I'll explain more, but it's along those lines of Anti-Hope D with the kill clip, or like Zen Meteor when you got the 3 kills and you got the super powered shot. It's along those lines, and that was incredible. If you can bring that, and that's more, if you can activate that more in PvP. So you know, imagine you kill a guy, or you activate it, and then come around the corner. There's 2 guys there. Doesn't matter because your exotic is supercharged basically because of that. And you can just tear through them. Anyways, I'll stop it here before. That'll be another video. Please watch that. Thanks, guys. Have fun. Playing Destiny.